Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel at Shruti Karen. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon. Before we begin, if you'd like to gain a better exclusive access on the latest overviews of my content materials and general idea of the literature and English elective, please feel free to follow me on my Instagram, and the Instagram link is below in the caption below. If you'd like to gain an exclusive access to my literature and English booklet, which I've discussed in my previous video in my YouTube channel, please feel free to email me on my email address. My email address is written below in the caption underneath this video. If you'd like to see a quick sneak peek on my literature and English booklet, please feel free to hop on to my previous videos where you'd be able to gain a quick sneak peek. Okay guys, so welcome back, and today I'm going to show you different booklets for the literature and English past papers. Of course, I cannot show you each of them because there's copyright issues and it will be a copyright infringement if I show you each of them. But I just want to highlight on some of the most important parts and quickly explain the overall examination structure to make sure that you do not create any mistakes during your examination and try to avoid confusions. So, always when you revise, it's very important to pick a handful amount of past papers. You can gain them in your school library or the public library, or feel free to email me and you'd be able to get a copy as well. So generally, I'm going to show you how the past paper looks like. So this is the past paper from the 2018, and all the copyright reserves goes to the HKEAA. So today I quickly want to show you on the structure of the examination, which I think is very, very important. So this is the idea of how paper 1 looks like. Again, as you probably know, in my previous videos, I've mentioned how a novel, a play, a film, as well as a short story will give you 2 different options. And for every option, it's basically your teacher who will decide for you. So for example, in 2018, the novel options were To Kill a Mockingbird, Lord of Fires. For the play, the options were The Taming of the Shrew and The Crucible. For section C, which is the film, the 2 options were The Painted Veil and The Life of Pi, whereas the short story is generally just a pocket of anthology. So it's just a series of different fiction. Now, I understand some of you may already get really confused, so I'm just going to show you how the syllabus of the 2018 examination looks like. So again, as you can see, we have the novels and there's 2 options. So when we hop on back to the paper 1, you'd be able to see again there's 2 options, To Kill a Mockingbird and The Lord of Flies. So let's imagine, so this is a booklet that I bought myself. So even though I write on it, it's actually okay. But if you're borrowing a book from the library or the school library, please do not write on it because you should not write on it. So I want to try and make things very clear for you all. So this is the reason why I want you all just to have a quick, nice imagination. So, you know, like if you look back at the HKEA website, or if you look at this past paper booklet, you'd be able to see lots and a lot of description. Already from the first page, we have so much description, so much to take in. So you can see paper 2, paper 3, and then the syllabus, different genres. So it's very complicated. So I'm trying to use this YouTube video to better explain, and I hope that you do not make any mistakes in your HKDSE examination. So for example, let's imagine we're studying this. So as novels, I'm studying The Lord of Flies. For the plays, I'm going to study The Crucible. For the films, I'm going to study The Life of Pi. So again, these options is not going to be selected by you. It's by your teacher. But I'm just trying to allow you to have some imagination so that you can better understand the structure. So again, the short story, let's imagine that I've studied everything and I'm not going to choose anything. I'm going to study all of them before my DSE exam, and I'm going to study all of the poems without being too choosy and selective to make sure that I can get the highest grade possible. So now, once you have all these ideas in mind, we're going to go back to the paper 1. So as I've mentioned, we have studied The Lord of Flies, Crucible, Life of Pi, right? So in paper 1, you have to be very careful. So in paper 1, we have part 1. So this, so section A, section B, section C, section D are all from part 1. And part 2, you'd be able to have a series of different questions. It's usually about 9 to 10 questions that you can gain from part 2. So now it's the idea of better understanding the structure. So in part 1, as I've said, the circled ones are the ones that I've studied. So you have to choose 2 questions. So as you can see, 2 questions from part 1. So this entire thing is part 1 and I've got to choose 2 questions. So let's imagine I've chosen question 3 and question 4. Now, some of you may be confused and you'll be like, wait, 2 questions. Isn't it supposed to be 3 and 4 and 7 and 8, 2 questions? No, 2 questions just means question 3 and question 7. I hope that's clear. 2 questions is just 2 questions. So you cannot do 3 and 4, you cannot do 7 and 8. That is not how it goes. You just have to choose 2 questions. Now, these 2 questions have to come from different genres. What do I mean by genre? Now, that should be very clear. When you get your paper, first thing to do, number 1, first thing to do is to circle all the different genres. So you've got the novel, the play, the film, short stories. Short stories, yeah. So you need to be very clear. I have short stories, the film, the play, and the novel. So these are my 4 different genres. Now, from each of these genres, so this is genre number 1, genre number 2, genre number 3, genre number 4. So out of these 4 genres, I need to pick 2 questions. And each of the question needs to be from different genres. So let's imagine you still don't get it, so I'm going to repeat it again. So, 2 questions. The first question I've chosen is from the novel. Now, my second question, again, cannot be from the novel, so I cannot choose question 1, question 2, question 4. Now, those options are gone, and I can only do question 3 because I've selected question 3. Now, the second question that I'm going to choose can come from question 5 to question 14. Now, since I've chosen question number 7, which is the play, I cannot choose the rest of these questions. Okay, now if you've been following this video very clearly, you'd be able to understand that I've already chosen a question from the novel and the play, right? Because I've chosen question 3 from the novel, question 7 from the play. Now, moving on to part 2, you need to be very clear. So, novel and the play is already chosen. So, for the film and the short stories, I need to make sure that I can find a suitable question in part 2. I can only do 1 question, and I need to make sure I can find a suitable question. Once we've chosen a question from the novel and the play, we cannot choose a question from a film and a short story because you only have to do 2 questions from part 1. So for part 2, we're only limited with the option of a film and a short story. Okay, so for let's imagine we chose question number 17. So question number 17, you can do a film plus a short story. So this is how we have done 3 questions from 4 different genres. So the first question is from the novel, the second question is from the play, and the third question that we have carefully chosen is from the film and short stories. So one of the most important tips that you can take off from paper 1 is the idea of being very selective with your question. You need to make sure that you've planned your questions before you've even started, just to make sure that you've completed all the genres. So I hope this video helped, and if it did, please feel free to let me know in the comment section below. Also, if you want to have an exclusive access of my literature booklet, please feel free to email me on my email address, which is in the caption. If you want to have a quick sneak peek on the booklet, of course, you can go back and hop onto the previous videos to see how the booklet looks like. And if you want to gain more tips, jump onto my Instagram link in the caption below, and I hope this video helped. Don't forget to click the subscribe button and like this video. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye!